72 hours away. Everyone is excited. Well, almost everyone. Let's check into the Sports Lodge.
Live from the Jack in the Box studio, it's the Sports Lodge with Roger Lodge.
All right, Roger, I understand you have a very special guest, and somewhat controversial, too, huh?
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. My guest, Mark Dice, has a lot of interesting views on a lot of different things. But this morning, we are focusing on one thing and one thing only. Our guest, Mark Dice, says we should boycott the Super Bowl. Mr. Dice, good morning, sir.
Good morning, and I would rather have us focus on something other than the Super Bowl, actually. When we have a society that knows and cares more about sports than they do about events that actually affect their lives, I think that's a problem. So I want to take this opportunity to urge people to boycott the Super Bowl, to turn it off, to read a book. And we can learn about some of the serious issues that affect us, the Bilderberg Group, the Federal Reserve. Maybe if we got as excited about politics and yelled and screamed as loud as we do for sports, then maybe we could prevent the scumbags in Washington, D.C. from flushing this country down the toilet.
Let me ask you this. What about the fact that on Sunday, I'm going to sit around with my family, my 3 children, 21, 3, and 5. We're going to sit around, we're going to enjoy a nice meal, and we're going to enjoy a good, healthy competition between 2 teams that have worked very hard to get there. The Saints have a lot to play for here for the city of New Orleans. What do you say to people like myself who say this is a wonderful opportunity for family time?
I think it's a wonderful opportunity for people to educate their families about the Bilderberg Group, about the certain political issues. Maybe you should watch a documentary film by Alex Jones, watch Fall of the Republic or the Obama Deception, and get involved. Instead of yelling and screaming about some people chasing a ball on a grass field, how about we yell and scream about the politicians selling our country out? And
well, Mark, the only yelling I'm going to do is probably at my wife when I need another sandwich. It's not going to be any yelling. Wow. But let me tell you something.
What about what this does for the economy and how many millions of dollars this generates with, just, in Miami, never mind, all the people ordering pizzas and doing whatever. This is great for the economy.
Well, I don't think it offsets the damage that Obama and his criminal are doing for us. And don't think that I'm a fan of President Bush. Bush is a war criminal, should be in prison, too.
Wait a second. Let me get back to what we're talking about. Let me make one more point. Let me make a point, Mark.
Ahead,
Let me ask you this. When I'm watching a sporting event with my 5-year-old and my 3-year-old, and on a first down, the Colts get 3 yards. You need 10 yards to get a first down. And my 5-year-old says to me, well, they got 3 yards, Daddy. They need 7 more yards for a first down. There's a little education here involved as well, and I don't think there's anything wrong with watching a good, healthy, athletic event. If you use it right with your family, I think it's a really good thing, Mark.
Well, I think sports is really the opiate of the masses and contributes to the downfall of the country. So I urge everybody to boycott the Super Bowl. Go to markdice.com and watch some of my educational videos or the other works and read a book. Turn the television off.
I disagree, Mr. Dice. I disagree.
All right, you know what? We're going to do.
Everybody knows that the dice are loaded. Everybody rolls with their fingers crossed. Everybody knows the war is over. Everybody knows the good guys lost. Everybody knows the fight was
we didn't plan that bumper music. Everybody knows the dice is loaded. We've got Mark Dice on the line with us. Again, Mark Dice goes out. He puts a YouTube video up saying the Super Bowl is over. The Super Bowl is off. Everybody goes and flocks to it. Super Bowl is canceled, I believe is the actual name of the video. Going from memory here. Mark can correct me. And then he gets on KLA TV. I mean, we're talking about guaranteed hundreds of thousands watching. KLA radio, hundreds of thousands listening. It goes viral on the web. Millions of people start thinking, wait, why am I only caring about sports as the country falls apart? Sure, if we had George Washington for president and we weren't, $14+ trillion in debt just from last year alone, and we didn't have the new jobless numbers were 400,000. Now they've adjusted them to 800,000+. That's Bloomberg, a link up on Infowars.com right now. I mean, sure, if everything was fine, it'd be okay to only care about a football game. But this is our new God that we've given our freedom up for. And I tell you, Mark, they started panicking when you started bringing up real issues.
They didn't know what they were getting into when they had me on, because I think they just anticipated somebody was going to just talk about how important we should read some history, and I don't think that they knew exactly what they were getting into. And you could hear them cut me off as soon as I started criticizing Obama.
But
and,
you continue to game them. I mean, how many stunts like this have you pulled? Every one of them with more and more devastating effect.
Oh, just one after the other. I mean, you string them all together, and it seems like this incredible success. Sometimes it's few and far between that I'll have something hit this big. But just look at what this does. I mean, this can reach. There has to have been hundreds of thousands of people. There's millions of people in Los Angeles.
And now you've got more media calling you, so it's a snowball.
Yeah, this was also my video rant was shown on a Denver CBS affiliate. I posted that on YouTube. They filed a copyright infringement claim and emailed me, and they've all pulled all copies of that video. But it's getting out. They wanted people to link to their copy streaming from their website. So it's getting out. And I also want to just urge everybody, the next few days, Super Bowl is going to be the hot topic. So we can, if you're going to get sucked into that, try to use this as an angle to really make people think about what it is.
I agree. In fact, Mark, I'm going to talk about your video and do one tonight that I'm going to have go mega viral, pointing out that America's dying. Why do you only care about this football game? And some people won't listen now, but a couple years later, when things are even worse, they're going to remember and start getting their heads screwed on straight.
Well, I think a lot of the people are going to maybe feel this sort of peer pressure that they have to sort of be interested and involved in the Super Bowl and in the festivities this weekend. And so I think we can provide an environment for them to feel safe in resisting that and giving them some ammunition that they can.
Or how about sending people to Super Bowl parties with Obama Deception, Fall of the Republic, or your new book?
Yeah, and if you're going to have to watch the game, why don't you bring the DVDs, and then afterwards, when everybody's nice and lit up, you can just have them watch Fall of the Republic or the Obama Deception. You got a captive audience right there.
Hey, you're like, come on, baby, come back to the apartment and watch Obama Deception.
It's very, very conducive. But yeah, and this is how it's done. I got some footage I'm going to post later of me kind of behind the scenes, and then until a producer came up and told me I can't videotape there, but I'm just going to break the illusion. Most people think that Los Angeles and Hollywood, L.A. is just this beautiful Disneyland. But I got footage of behind the scenes of this television studio. It's really nothing. The green room is the area where people go and sit. People know this, where you sit and kind of wait before you're a guest on a show. And I would imagine that most people think that a green room at a Los Angeles television station is going to be this luxurious area. So just wait until you see the video footage that I posted of the green room, just to shatter this illusion of this multi-million-dollar propaganda machine.
Well, Mark, you continue to kick butt. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views with your video of the majority of people in San Diego saying ban free speech, arrest anybody that disagrees with Obama. Cass Sunstein, his regulations czar, is writing white papers on it. And now they're openly announcing that Google is spying on everybody for the NSA in the name of keeping us safe. And we've got all these governments from Italy to Australia putting net censorship in that dwarfs even China. And we've got Time Magazine calling for an Internet ID to even be able to get online, worse than China.
Yeah, and this is not news to us, but now it's front page on the Drudge Report that the NSA is working with Google. So, I mean, once again, everything that
That's right. I had that CIA guy Steele on, 5 years ago, about how Google's really a CIA front.
Well, and again, just gives more credibility to you, to others. And so, I just want to stress again, let's use Super Bowl Sunday. People are going to be going out and buying new TVs today and tomorrow and Saturday. So why don't we maybe pick it outside of some electronic stores that just really use this as an opportunity to truth jam, as I call it, to culture jam, to use the system, against itself. So just hats off.
Because imagine, no one's ever gone out front of a sports bar and protested that it's a gladiatorial diversion. One of 2,000 years ago, people would have gone and protested in front of the Roman Colosseum saying, this is a distraction. This is where you're trained to dehumanize your fellow humans, where your neighbor's being killed one week, you're being killed the next week. This is where you're dehumanized, where you're taught to enjoy seeing your fellow man torn down. This is a false religion, an idol from real issues and real tribal energies of warfare that are meant to stand up for your family. How about protesting the biggest sports bars? Not even protesting them, just being there, pointing out to folks a real war is going on.
Yeah, you know, when you bring a megaphone into a sports bar, just be careful. You know, you're going to have a lot of angry, drunk football fans. But it is a sad state of affairs when these football stars are held up as heroes. You know, it's like they saved a bunch of children from a burning building, you know, the day after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, crackhead, drug addict. In fact, here's one. National Labor Committee. Women paid 10 cents to sew $80 Peyton Manning jerseys for NFL and Reebok. You know, since when are our colors not George Washington, Declaration of Independence, and semi-automatic rifles? Since when did the jersey of an American not be freedom and liberty and Ron Paul in 1776? Since when did it become a bunch of addled, brain-damaged, drug addict, steroid head with pimples all over their faces and backs, wallowing around with crack whores?